Ladies and gentlemen, all right, listen up. I want you to think about something real quick. How many times have you set a goal, made a promise to yourself, and then somewhere along the way just gave up? Maybe you felt tired, maybe you lost the fire, or maybe life just got too busy. Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. Success doesn't come from waiting for motivation to hit you like a lightning bolt. No, success comes when you force yourself to keep moving, even when you don't want to. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how you can push through that resistance and get things done no matter what. If you're ready to stop making excuses and start seeing real results, then stick with me, because this is the speech that will change your whole game. Let's get real about motivation. Everyone talks about how important it is to feel motivated before doing something, right? We wait for that spark, that sudden burst of energy and inspiration to hit us before we start working on our goals. But here's the problem. Motivation is like the weather. Some days it's sunny and perfect. Other days it's stormy and gloomy. You can't control it. If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll spend most of your time sitting still, waiting for that perfect moment that might never come. Discipline is the real game changer. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's the muscle you build by doing things even when you don't want to, even when you're tired, even when your brain screams at you to quit. Discipline is forcing yourself to show up no matter what. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't wait to feel like it. You just do it because you know it's good for you. Think about it. The most successful people aren't necessarily the most motivated all the time. They've built a habit of discipline. They create routines that don't depend on how they feel at the moment. When you train yourself to act without relying on motivation, you build momentum. Momentum that carries you through the tough days and keeps your goals moving forward. The tricky part is that motivation feels good. When you're motivated, you're excited and energized, and everything feels easy. But motivation can be a liar too. It can disappear just when you need it the most. That's why waiting for motivation is dangerous. It leaves your dreams hanging in the balance. On the other hand, discipline might not feel exciting all the time. It might feel like a grind. But here's the catch: it creates lasting results. When you develop discipline, you're building a foundation that no one can shake. You're telling yourself, I don't care if I feel like it or not, I'm going to do this because it matters. And this is where forcing yourself comes in. Forcing yourself isn't about being harsh or mean to yourself. It's about recognizing that your feelings are just temporary signals, not rules you have to follow. You can feel tired, lazy, or doubtful, but you still have the power to take action. It's like a switch. You can turn it on and say, oh, I'm going to do this anyway. Here's an example. Imagine you want to exercise every morning to get healthier. Some days you wake up feeling pumped and ready to go. But other days you feel sleepy, your bed is warm, and your body is aching. Motivation says, skip today, you deserve a break. Discipline says, get up and move. If you only listen to motivation, you'll probably skip a lot of days. But if you rely on discipline, you'll keep going, and those consistent workouts will add up to real change. Another thing to remember is that discipline builds confidence. When you force yourself to take action regularly, you prove to yourself that you can rely on your own commitment. This self-trust grows stronger over time, making it easier to face bigger challenges. You start believing in your ability to push through obstacles because you've done it before. So, how do you start building discipline? Start small. You don't have to force yourself to do huge things right away. Begin with simple habits, like making your bed every morning or spending 10 minutes on a goal-related task. These small wins build your discipline muscle and prepare you for bigger challenges. Also remember to plan your actions ahead of time. When you decide exactly what you're going to do, and when you remove the guesswork and reduce the chance of relying on motivation. For example, instead of saying, I'll exercise when I feel like it, say, I will exercise every day at 7 a.m. When that time comes, your body and mind are ready to move because you've set a clear plan. Finally, hold yourself accountable. Share your goals with a friend or write them down where you can see them every day. Accountability is like a friend who gently pushes you forward when you're tempted to stop. It keeps you honest and motivated to stick with your discipline. In the end, motivation will come and go, but discipline is your steady partner. It's the force that drives you to act even when you don't want to. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to stop waiting for the perfect feeling and start building your discipline. Force yourself to show up, to put in the work, and watch how your life changes. Because success doesn't wait for motivation. It belongs to those who keep moving no matter what. Setting clear goals is like drawing a map before a journey. Without a clear destination, you're just wandering around hoping to get somewhere. When you force yourself to achieve your goals, the first step is knowing exactly what those goals are. Vague goals lead to vague results. If you want to transform your life, you have to get specific about what you want to accomplish. Clear goals give you direction and purpose. When you write down what you want in precise terms, your brain starts to focus on how to get there. It's like turning on a spotlight in a dark room. Suddenly you see the obstacles and the path ahead. For example, instead of saying, I want to be healthy, say, I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months by exercising 4 times a week and eating more vegetables. That kind of clarity sets you up for success. But here's the catch, just setting goals isn't enough. You have to force yourself to take action toward them every day. That's where most people stumble. They have dreams and plans, but when it's time to work, they hesitate or get distracted. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't is the willingness to push themselves even when it's hard. It's the ability to say, I'm tired, but I'm going to do it anyway. Breaking big goals into smaller, manageable steps is a powerful way to stay on track. Large goals can feel overwhelming, making it tempting to give up before you even start. But when you divide your goal into daily or weekly tasks, it becomes less scary and more doable. Those small wins build momentum and confidence, which fuels your motivation and discipline. Imagine you want to write a book. Instead of focusing on the entire book, focus on writing just 1 page a day. That 1 page might seem small, but over time, those pages add up. By forcing yourself to write daily, you create a habit that moves you closer to your goal. The key is consistency, not perfection. Another important part of forcing yourself to achieve goals is managing distractions and excuses. Life throws a lot of things at you: family, work, social media, and countless other distractions. Excuses like, I don't have time, or I'm too tired, often keep you from doing what you know you need to do. But if you truly want to achieve something, you have to learn to say no to distractions and yes to your priorities. This means creating boundaries and protecting your time. Schedule your goal work like an appointment you can't miss. Turn off your phone or block distracting websites while you work. Find a quiet place or a routine that helps you focus. The more you guard your time, the easier it becomes to force yourself into action. It's also essential to remind yourself why your goals matter. Sometimes, when the going gets tough, it's easy to lose sight of the reason behind your efforts. Take a moment to think about why you started in the first place. Maybe it's to provide a better life for your family, to improve your health, or to prove something to yourself. Holding on to your why can give you the extra push when motivation fades. Visualization is a powerful tool that can help you stay committed. Spend a few minutes each day imagining what your life will look like once you achieve your goal. Picture the feeling of success, the respect you'll earn, and the freedom you'll gain. This mental image can inspire you to keep going, even when it feels tough. Accountability is another game changer. Sharing your goals with someone you trust or joining a group with similar ambitions creates a support system. When you know others are watching your progress, you're more likely to push yourself and follow through. Accountability partners can cheer you on, challenge you, and remind you of your commitment when you want to quit. Finally, celebrate your progress, no matter how small. When you force yourself to work on your goals every day, acknowledge your effort. Celebrate the small victories, the days you showed up, the tasks you completed, the obstacles you overcame. These celebrations keep your spirit high and reinforce the habit of discipline. In summary, forcing yourself to achieve your goals starts with clear, specific targets. Break them down into manageable steps. Protect your time. Stay focused on your why. Visualize success. Find accountability and celebrate progress. When you combine these strategies with daily action, you build unstoppable momentum. Remember, the only way to reach your destination is to keep moving forward, no matter how hard it feels. Your goals aren't going to achieve themselves, so force yourself to act and watch your dreams turn into reality. Building a strong mindset is absolutely crucial when it comes to forcing yourself to achieve your goals. Because let me tell you something, the hardest battle you're going to face isn't the task itself, it's the battle inside your own mind. Your thoughts, your doubts, your fears, those are the real enemies standing between you and success. You can have the best plans, the clearest goals, and the strongest motivation. But if your mindset isn't right, none of that will move you forward. So the third key point is develop a mindset that refuses to quit no matter what. A strong mindset is built on resilience. Life will throw challenges at you. It's guaranteed. You're going to face setbacks, disappointments, maybe even failures. That's just part of the journey. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is the ability to bounce back. When something goes wrong, instead of seeing it as a dead end, the strong mind sees it as a lesson, as an opportunity to grow. That kind of thinking is what you need to cultivate. You've got to train your mind to expect obstacles and to be ready to fight through them. This means no matter how many times you fall, you get up one more time. It's about refusing to let fear control your actions. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. These fears are natural, but they are not facts. The strong mindset knows this and doesn't let fear become a prison. Self-talk plays a huge role here. What you say to yourself shapes how you feel and what you believe you can achieve. If your inner voice is negative, always telling you, I can't do this, I'm not smart enough, or this is too hard, then you are setting yourself up for failure before you even begin. On the other hand, if you start telling yourself, I'm capable, I can learn and improve, and I will find a way, you are setting the stage for success. Your words have power, use them wisely. Another important aspect of building a strong mindset is developing patience. In this world of instant gratification, we want everything now. We want to see results fast, and when we don't, we get discouraged. But real success takes time. If you want to force yourself to achieve your goals, you have to be willing to put in the consistent work every day, even when you don't see immediate progress. Patience means trusting the process and understanding that your efforts will pay off if you stick with it. Also, embrace the idea of being uncomfortable. Growth rarely happens inside your comfort zone. When you push yourself toward your goals, you're going to feel uncomfortable, unsure, and even scared sometimes. That's a good sign. It means you're challenging yourself instead of running from discomfort. Face it head on. Remind yourself that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of pushing through will last a lifetime. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another way to strengthen your mindset. The people you spend time with affect your attitude and beliefs more than you might realize. If you're around negative, doubtful people who don't believe in your dreams, it's going to be harder to stay strong. But if you build a circle of supportive, motivated individuals who encourage you, hold you accountable, and lift you up, your mindset will be much stronger. Seek mentors, friends, or groups who inspire you to be your best self. Lastly, never underestimate the power of visualization and affirmations. Take time every day to picture yourself succeeding. Imagine the feeling of achieving your goal, the pride and joy that come with it. Say positive affirmations aloud to remind yourself of your strength and purpose. These practices help rewire your brain for success and keep you mentally focused when things get tough. To sum it up, building a strong mindset means becoming mentally tough, resilient, and patient. It means training your inner voice to support you instead of hold you back. It means embracing discomfort, surrounding yourself with positivity, and visualizing success every day. When your mind is strong, you won't just want to reach your goals. You will force yourself to, no matter what stands in your way. This mindset is the foundation that turns dreams into reality. Without it, you'll struggle. With it, you become unstoppable. Accountability is one of those words that gets thrown around a lot. But when it comes to actually forcing yourself to achieve your goals, it's absolutely essential. Accountability means taking full responsibility for your actions, your progress, and yes, even your failures. It means you don't make excuses, you don't blame others or circumstances, and you don't quit just because things get hard. Instead, you own your journey completely. This kind of mindset separates those who just dream from those who actually do. The first thing to understand about accountability is that it's not just about telling someone else what you're going to do. It's about holding yourself to a standard so high that you refuse to let yourself off the hook. When you set a goal, you need to commit to it like it's a promise you made to the most important person in your life, yourself. No matter what happens, no matter what distractions or temptations come your way, you follow through. You don't get to give up or settle for less. You hold yourself accountable because you know your future depends on it. One powerful way to create accountability is by sharing your goals with others. When you tell someone you trust about what you want to achieve, you create a kind of social contract. Suddenly, it's not just you who's aware of your commitment. Someone else is watching, rooting for you, and expecting you to deliver. That external pressure can be a huge motivator. It makes you think twice before skipping a workout, procrastinating on a project, or making a choice that doesn't serve your goal. This doesn't mean you should rely entirely on others to keep you accountable, but having that support system can push you when your own willpower starts to waver. Another important aspect of accountability is tracking your progress regularly. If you want to force yourself to achieve something, you need to know where you stand. This means setting measurable milestones and checking in with yourself often. Are you moving closer to your goal, or are you standing still? Are your daily actions aligned with the outcome you want? Keeping a journal, using an app, or even making simple checklists can help you stay honest with yourself. When you see the progress you're making, it fuels your motivation. When you notice you're slipping, it's a chance to correct before it's too late. Accountability also means being honest about your mistakes. Nobody is perfect, and setbacks are part of any journey. But the difference is how you respond. Some people let failure stop them. They blame circumstances or get discouraged and give up. But those who force themselves to achieve their goals accept mistakes as learning opportunities. They analyze what went wrong, figure out how to fix it, and move forward with more wisdom. Holding yourself accountable means you don't hide from your faults or make excuses. You face them head on, take responsibility, and keep pushing. The role of discipline ties closely with accountability. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. But discipline without accountability can be shaky. You might have the best intentions, but if you don't have a system to check in on yourself, it's easy to slip back into old habits. Accountability creates the structure and commitment needed to keep discipline strong. When you're accountable, you don't let laziness or distractions win. You stick to your plan day in and day out. It's also important to understand that accountability isn't about being harsh or punishing yourself. It's about respect. Respect for your goals, your time, and yourself. When you hold yourself accountable, you're saying, I value my dreams enough to do whatever it takes. That respect builds confidence and self-trust. You start believing that you can deliver on your promises, which is a powerful feeling. Once you build that belief, it becomes easier to force yourself forward because you know deep down that you're capable. Lastly, don't forget that accountability is a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. When you start small, setting simple goals and following through, you build momentum. Each success, no matter how small, reinforces your ability to stay accountable. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes a habit. Forcing yourself to achieve your goals becomes less about struggle and more about a natural part of who you are. People around you start to notice your consistency and commitment, and you start to see results that fuel your fire even more. In summary, accountability means taking full ownership of your goals and actions. It's about committing to yourself, sharing your goals with trusted people, tracking your progress honestly, learning from mistakes, and building discipline. When you hold yourself accountable, you stop making excuses and start making progress. This mindset shift is one of the most powerful tools you can have in your journey to success. So if you want to force yourself to achieve your goals, start by holding yourself accountable, no matter what. One of the biggest obstacles that stop people from forcing themselves to achieve their goals is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Fear is powerful, and if you don't confront it head on, it will keep you stuck in the same place, unable to move forward. But here's the truth: fear is not the enemy. Fear is a signal. It's your body and mind telling you that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, that you're growing, and that you're about to do something important. The key is learning how to face that fear instead of running from it. Fear often sneaks in disguised as self-doubt or procrastination. You might hear that little voice inside your head whispering things like, "What if I mess up?" Or, "Who do I think I am to do this?" That's fear talking, trying to protect you from potential pain or embarrassment. But when you let those thoughts control you, you're letting fear win, and you're giving up on your dreams. To force yourself to achieve your goals, you have to silence that voice and replace it with something stronger: belief in yourself. Conquering fear starts with understanding that failure is not final. In fact, failure is a necessary step on the road to success. Every successful person has failed, stumbled, and fallen many times before they got to where they are. The difference is they didn't let fear stop them. They used failure as a lesson, as a stepping stone, as fuel to keep pushing forward. When you realize that failure is just part of the process, fear loses its power. You begin to see challenges as opportunities, not threats. Another way to overcome fear is to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. This means practicing positive self-talk and visualization. Take a few minutes every day to picture yourself succeeding. Imagine how it feels to reach your goal, the pride, the joy, the relief. When you do this regularly, your brain starts believing it's possible. Positive self-talk means consciously choosing to replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. Instead of, I can't do this, say, I am capable and I will figure it out. These small changes in your mindset make a huge difference in reducing fear. Taking action is one of the most effective ways to beat fear. The longer you wait, the bigger fear grows. You might feel tempted to delay starting your goal because you don't feel ready or perfect. But guess what? Nobody ever feels 100% ready. Waiting for the perfect moment is just fear in disguise. The moment you take one small step, fear begins to lose its grip. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates confidence. With each step forward, your fear shrinks because you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. It's also important to build a support system that encourages you and helps you face your fears. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who lift you up, and who remind you why your goals matter. When you share your fears with others, they lose their power. Sometimes just saying your fears out loud can help you see them from a different perspective. Supportive friends, mentors, or coaches can provide guidance, encouragement, and accountability, all of which make facing fear easier. Lastly, remember that fear is temporary. It comes and goes, but your dreams and goals are worth pushing through the discomfort. Every time you force yourself to move forward despite fear, you build courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's doing what you need to do even when fear is there. Courage is like a muscle that grows stronger with use. The more you practice facing fear, the less intimidating it becomes. Eventually, you'll look back and realize that the fear you once thought was too big to handle was just a step on your path to success. In conclusion, fear is one of the biggest barriers to achieving your goals, but it doesn't have to be. By recognizing fear as a signal, reframing failure, practicing positive self-talk, taking consistent action, building a strong support system, and understanding that fear is temporary, you can force yourself to push past it. When you stop letting fear control you, you unlock a power inside yourself that can move mountains. So the next time fear tries to hold you back, remember courage is moving forward anyway, and that's how you achieve greatness. Staying consistent is the secret weapon that separates those who achieve their goals from those who just dream about them. It's easy to feel motivated on day 1 or even day 10, but the real challenge is showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when life throws obstacles in your way, and even when the excitement fades. Consistency means doing what needs to be done regularly, no matter how you feel. And it's this daily dedication that creates lasting success. The power of consistency lies in its ability to build momentum. Think about it like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, but as it keeps rolling, it picks up speed and size. The same happens with your efforts toward a goal. Every small step you take adds up over time. And before you know it, you're moving faster and farther than you ever thought possible. This momentum makes the work feel easier because you're no longer starting from scratch every day. You're building on what you've already done. Another important thing about consistency is that it helps you develop discipline. Discipline is the muscle that keeps you going when motivation runs out. Motivation is great, but it's often unpredictable and short-lived. You might wake up one morning feeling fired up and ready to conquer the world, and the next day you might feel tired or discouraged. That's where discipline comes in. It's the commitment to stick to your plan even when your emotions fluctuate. By training yourself to be consistent, you're strengthening this muscle, making it easier to keep pushing forward no matter what. Consistency also teaches patience. Too often, people give up on their goals because they don't see immediate results. They expect big changes overnight, and when that doesn't happen, they get frustrated and quit. But success is rarely instant. It's the result of small, repeated actions done day after day. By staying consistent, you learn to trust the process and understand that good things take time. This patience not only helps you stay on track, but also keeps you from making impulsive decisions that could derail your progress. Another benefit of being consistent is that it builds confidence. Each day you follow through on your commitments, you prove to yourself that you can do what you say you will do. This builds trust in yourself, which is essential for long-term success. When you believe in your ability to stick with something, you're more likely to take on bigger challenges and push your limits. Confidence is contagious. The more consistent you are, the more your mindset shifts to one of I can instead of I can't. Consistency also creates good habits. Our lives are shaped by the habits we build, and habits are formed through repeated actions. When you consistently work toward your goals, you're actually training your brain to make those actions automatic. This means you don't have to rely on willpower or motivation as much because your new behaviors become part of your daily routine. Good habits reduce stress and make success feel natural. Imagine waking up every morning and automatically doing the things that bring you closer to your goals without having to fight with yourself. It's important to remember that consistency doesn't mean perfection. You won't be perfect every day, and that's okay. Life happens. There will be days when you fall short, get distracted, or face setbacks. The key is not to let one bad day turn into a bad week or month. If you slip up, don't beat yourself up or give up completely. Get back on track as soon as you can. This bounce back ability is part of consistency. Real growth comes from getting up each time you fall and continuing to move forward. To stay consistent, it helps to have clear goals and a plan. When you know exactly what you're working toward and have a step-by-step path, it's easier to keep showing up every day. Break your goals into smaller, manageable tasks and schedule time for them in your day. Treat your goals like appointments you can't miss, and track your progress. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating and reinforce your commitment. In the end, consistency is not just about working hard, it's about working smart and showing up with a mindset that says, I'm here for the long haul. When you force yourself to be consistent, you build a foundation that supports all your efforts. Your goals stop being distant dreams and start becoming real achievements. Remember, greatness is not about giant leaps, but about steady, continuous steps. So keep going day after day, because every step forward is one step closer to the life you want.